So I know I kind of briefly described the griot as a storyteller. Well, there's so much more than that. I'm not an expert, and so I had reached out to a cultural consultant, Franklin Hughes, who is a author, videographer, a curator, um, and a journalist who works for the Jim Crow Museum of Racist Memorabilia at Ferris State University. I had gotten a lot of inspiration from a book here called Griots and Griottes, authored by Thomas Hale, and I wanted to kind of fact check a few things, not just based on the role, but also a lot of the culture. Me and Franklin Hughes are both African American, and so we do have, a rich history with, our families here in the States, but he was able to help me kind of dive into some cultures I hadn't necessarily been familiar with, century old empires such as Songhai and Mali and the Axum Kingdom and the Kingdom of Kush, and to look into Morocco, like some of these countries that are just, forgotten about. And so I got to focus on the importance of some of these people, but also, certain things that they held important to them in their time period, such as pepper and frankincense, and trade routes, how they were the first to really adopt shipping and using a vessel. There's evidence that supports that they had, been traveling by boat for a long time, prior to even the discovery of the Americas. You know, and I also wanted to focus on what certain people held as what was divine. Whether that was a ruler of man or a deity itself, or the Orisha. And of course, being African fantasy, there's got to be monsters, and so I looked at some of the mythological creatures of legend there, such as the Grootslang and the Sanbasam. And so I wanted to go ahead and also kind of read a snippet of what the griot role did here from this book, because their purpose and their job was more than storytelling at times, and of course that has changed based on the age and era, and also certain countries hold the griot role in a different kind of respect. But there's also various names for what the griot is. I chose this term for various reasons, but to read here about what their social functions here in chapter 1, it talks about the job description for griots. It says, an overview of all these social functions, recounting history, providing advice, serving as a spokesperson, representing a ruler as a diplomat, mediating conflicts, interpreting the words of others into different languages, playing music, composing songs and tunes, teaching students, exhorting participants in war and sports, reporting news, overseeing, witnessing, or contributing to important life ceremonies, and praise singing. So, praise singer is actually a more renowned term for what the griot does versus storytelling or being a bard. Praise singer is a better way to describe what this role is. So I thought I'd leave with that. Thank you for watching.